Schiavone Mcgee, or Vons to those who really know him, is probably one of the best vocalists and performers around, playing thousands of shows, recording and selling over 1 million albums back before Spotify was even around. Mr. Mcgee has been lifting spirits and singing beautiful melodies for all of his followers. Best known for being the frontman of the regionally successful legacy band Fighting Gravity, or his many solo projects, Schiavone is making his mark all over the country, singing to packed clubs, stadiums, and festivals. Vons knows how to entertain a crowd. His energy is somewhat supernatural, as it brings a ray of hope and niceness to all of those in its path. I've known him personally now most of my life, but now it's your turn. Let's take time and do a Take 5 session with Mr. Schiavone Mcgee. We'll see what makes him tick. So, Schiavone.
What's up, bro?
It's good to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. This is interesting.
We just got some good lunch. Went down to Sand Dollar Beach Kitchen. I got fried green tomatoes. So, Schiavone, how long have you liked seafood?
Just the mention of it turned my stomach. It doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And the stores are endless, but now that I've got that resolved, yeah, it makes it really difficult when I go out to eat.
It's like the protein you need to keep yourself moving on the stage. That solid block of protein, we were talking about it. Sometimes I eat those little sardine things that come in the cans, and you're not hungry for all day.
No,
so.
I rocked that peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was.
Until the show was over and I was starving.
Yeah. So we're going to ask you a series of 5 questions, and it'll be more questions than that. And we're just trying to get an idea who you are. I've played with many musicians throughout my years, and I never really asked them their story.
Right.
So it's going to be fun for me as well, because I know a lot about you because I've played music with you most of my life, but there's still so many things, that whole introspective Schiavone Mcgee. How did you start in music? I mean, was there a certain person, specific event made you realize you're more talented?
Yes.
Than most.
Growing up in my household was busy. I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters, so it was a lot of us. And it was just my escape. No one knew that I could sing. I just was a quiet, shy child. I didn't talk a lot because there was too much activity going on in the house, and no one paid me any attention. I was out singing, then I remember working, getting a paper out, and one of the prizes was they gave you this yellow radio. It was like the
Sony ones?
Yeah, like the cheap ones back in the day.
Okay.
And it was my best friend because I could block the world out. I could deliver my paper out, listen to my music, and that's how I got to learn all these artists and to sing like the Carpenters and, the R&B hip hop stuff from the 60s and 70s and 80s. I really got into the, just the people on the radio. I could just sing just like them. Like I can sing like this dude. Who is this person? I just like the song, and I realized no one knows I have this thing. But it puts me in a really cool space, and it just became my love. And so in middle school, again, no one.
So how old were you when that paper route started? Just curious.
8, like 9,
and
like enough to ride a bicycle and hold a bag of papers without falling the hell over.
So you were news, you were well read.
I was folding that newspaper and shoving them in, and the music was going in my head, and I was in my own happy land.
Yeah,
it was my getaway in the rain and sleet. I didn't care. I was getting paid, and I was listening to music. It's fun. And so in middle school, there was a talent show coming up, and no one in the family knew that I was even going to walk out on the stage. And again, if you can imagine how many of my brothers were sitting in the audience, they had no idea. And so I walk out, the whole school is there.
To sing one song?
I sang, it wasn't even a full song. It was just they give you a few minutes to do it. But I walk out, no music, just me singing. And I went, my voice is gone today because I was in the studio last night, but Evelyn Champagne King's, first of all, it was an inappropriate song for a guy in middle school to be singing at 9 o'clock in the morning. I walk out and burning, keep my whole body, and the people are like, "What is happening?
Who is this guy
who is singing this song?" So the lyrics were hilarious for a 12-year-old dude to be singing, whatever, 11. And then once that happened, it just kind of blew up. I was singing the national anthem at all the football games, all the basketball games, even when the military band came to school to play for us. They already knew who I was. That lady said, "Where's the guy that can sing?" And the whole school went, and it was weird.
So when you sang that morning, what were the reactions of
Which morning? I just gave you 3 stories in 30 seconds.
the one when you sang at the for the
so
first
the
time?
whole school was like, what is he doing up there, first of all? And why is he singing that song that is so inappropriate for him to sing at this time in the morning at school? But everyone's reaction was like, holy, you can sing.
And they saw
And
you
your
as the
brothers?
quiet type, right?
Yeah, because I was just running. I was just, in school, just kind of doing my thing.
And your brother heard it?
They were like, what is going on?
And
We
I'm
had
sure
no
they,
idea.
I'm sure they told your mom that night, maybe?
Well, I won both. It was 2.
wow.
It was in the morning for the younger kids, and then later on in the afternoon for the older kids. And I won both of them.
Oh, wow.
And it was $100, and it was like, I have $100, and I just did what I love to do. I
Yeah.
can do this. How can I get more of this
Yeah.
money to do what I love to do? And so I threw myself in church, because church travel, and they're always singing something. And basically, it was just any vehicle I could use to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And music was that vehicle. It was always there.
So your inspiration was yourself and finding how much that meant to you. Sometimes it's a person, but
Yeah.
you were the person that found it for yourself. Nobody else even knew because you were the
Yeah,
quiet
it
one.
just gave me peace, and it just gave me an escape. And at that age, at that time, being in a house full of people, you're always looking for your own corner to just have a moment. Mine was outside with my radio, with my music. And once I got into high school, it just kind of, snowballed into all this music stuff. Virginia All-State Choir, the only person in King George history to ever do that, let alone twice in a row. And it just snowballed into all these opportunities to sing everywhere, like national anthems. And then, weirdly enough, VCU. I got music scholarships to go to VCU. Vocal.
Vocal major.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider yourself a tenor?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
The top one.
Yeah.
And it was very humbling walking in to the building thinking, yeah, I'm first day of school, VCU, I'm the singer dude. I walk in, there's 200 people that can sing better than me in this classroom.
We had that discussion earlier today. Like,
It's
you
so
thinking-
funny you bring that up.
That is.
Yeah.
Because I think he is a tremendous trombone player.
Right.
And at a certain point, I think he thought he was wicked. He is all wicked awesome. But when you walk into a room and you realize that there's other people like me,
Yep.
and maybe I'm not the best.
Yep. And I was okay with it because these are my people. We're all doing the same thing. We're all here singing. And some of us can, and some of us will get there.
And I guess when you hear the people who all can sing around you sing, you realize, oh my gosh, this is what it's supposed to sound like. Nothing against, the earlier
Right.
kind of stuff, but all these people cared. They wanted to do their best job. They were singing in tune.
Right.
And it fulfilled the whole room. That's pretty neat.
So that's the journey. And then the weird thing is, at the same time, I was working in a record store, like Sam Goody,
At the mall.
at the mall,
Which mall?
Chesterfield Town Center.
Okay.
Old school.
The good old days.
And I was singing generals and majors, never to
Is that XTC?
ecstasy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Triano, the guitar player for the band, was standing behind me because it's 9:00 in the morning. Everything in my life seems to happen around 9:00. There's a theme.
It's the name of your next album. 9
But
o'clock.
no, I was singing. The store just opened, like literally no one's in the mall. And then I turn around and the guitar player, David Triano's standing there going, "Oh, you want to be in a band?" I'm like, "What? Who are you? Why are you in my store at 9:00 in the morning?"
Was that when you were at VCU or was it?
No, that was after VCU.
Okay.
And no, I was doing 3 part-time jobs at the same time. So I was scooping ice cream in Sam Goody. Oh, I was working Jefferson Hotel.
Yeah.
At the same time going to VCU. And so it was a little busy, but it's all good. Anyway, I was singing that song and I turned around. He was like, "You want to audition to be in a band?" I'm like, "Sure. Where is it? What's going on?"
That's great. And that
I want to hear his side of the story. What were you doing there, Tree?
I know.
At 9
Why are
o'clock
you in the
morning
mall?
at Sam Goody.
he was probably looking for a lead singer.
Looking for Neil Young
Yeah, right.
CD, something.
Yeah.
So that there started the whole boy oh boy thing because I only sang literally a minute after practice, and they're like, "You're in. Now you've got 36 songs to learn in 3 weeks."
Yeah, because they were playing more original stuff at that point, weren't they?
Yeah, they were doing a little. Well, Pete was singing, and Tree was, I guess, singing also. And
And just for the people that don't know, Pete is David Peterson, the bass player for
player.
Fighting Gravity, and Tree is David Triano for the Fighting Gravity
Guitar player.
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
So that was fun. I just walked in, I sang it quickly, and then they're like, "All right, can you just learn these songs by this date?" I think the first show was with the Good Guys at Schaefer Court.
How long did they give you? Like, was it a week, 2 weeks?
It was like 3 weeks, maybe.
You had to learn all
I had
those
to learn a
songs,
lot of
all those
songs.
original music, and
many-
all the forms.
Yeah.
Wow. How
Because
many
they were all
songs?
singing, and
3 weeks. That's
I
amazing.
think so, yeah.
That's
Tree-
36
David-
songs.
the Davids can confirm that, but it was a quick turnaround because
Davids.
they were both singing already. So I kind of worked my way in to the songs, and then the songs they were singing kind of lessened and lessened. They were only singing like 1 or 2 songs a gig at that point, and I just needed a break because I had all this music in my head to learn, and then jump around the stage and do whatever we do at Cahoots or the Schaefer Court. I was just nervous about being on the stage with the Good Guys, you know.
Had you ever fronted and had to maintain the crowd's
Oh yeah, I
interest
was in
and stuff?
the other thing in high school. I was in a band also called RPM.
I remember that band. Maybe you told me something about them on one of our long road trips home.
Yep, and the single, it's on YouTube. The song,
RPM.
if you search that, you'll see a 45 record, blue, and it's out there. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll definitely tell everybody where to find them. But I'm going to go look up RPM after this too.
Yeah. So when the Davids asked you to play, they didn't really know your style. At that point, did you have a style? Were you trying to mimic their singing style, or were you going to
didn't-
bring your own?
I brought my own because I didn't know what I looked at the song list and I said, "Who's singing these songs and what are you wearing? Like, what's your vibe like?" I walked in with a Bobby Brown Gumby haircut. I was looking like a triangle on my head, and I had all this stuff on, looking like I was straight off Gray Street from the punk era. I had like orange hair. It was crazy.
Wow.
I had like those studs around. It was crazy.
Had you heard their music?
Never.
So you saw the lyrics, I guess, the music, the sheet music, or whatever they gave
Whatever songs I
you
needed to
learned it.
learn, I just learned them.
but you hadn't heard how they'd done it.
No, they just said
That's
reggae
amazing.
and ska. I said, "Well, what the hell is ska?" Because I'm an alternative indie dude that likes, Human League.
When was this? What year? Give or
This is
take.
89?
It was probably,
90?
it might have been 88 because
May have
I
been
came in
88.
in 89 to the Fighting Gravity guys.
I was at VCU in 85. So, yeah, it was more like 88, 89 maybe. It was soon thereafter. Sorry.
Was this when where was ska in this? Was ska like brand spanking new? Was it
well,
a year old?
No, because all those bands that were playing that music at the time were already doing it. I just didn't know what it was called.
Okay.
Right.
Like when I saw the English beat, I'm like, it's a good song. The guitar player was just janking. And I'm like, what is that? It's just, someone said it's just reggae sped up. That's how I first heard about ska.
Yeah.
If you slow it down, it's reggae. And so they turned me on to what ska is and the history and the Bad Manners and all the other bands that they were wanting me to sing. I'm like, well, who are these people? So I had to do some research. But yeah, that's how I got into ska. And then we just kind of found our own way. You know what I'm saying? Just music, they're all cool dudes.
Mhm.
Had a lot of work to do, and everyone's wearing T-shirts and shorts. So I'm like, okay, I will adjust. I wasn't wearing t-shirts. I had this checkered suit, jacket and slacks because they said ska. I'm like, all right, well, let me see what this picture looks like with these folks. I just went out and bought a suit that I could just wear 3-4 times a week. And that became like my outfit.
Yeah, and it kind of puts you in that whole mood of that kind of
It
music.
just kind of became a show, like visually and musically, and with the horns and the running around and the energy and the songs and the hooks. And I think we realized at an early time that we never took ourselves seriously at all, and we still don't. And that's how the music comes across. It's just feel good music. But then when you're on the road with the other bands that are out there, we weren't taken very seriously at all. In the very beginning, we had to prove ourselves and we had to fight. And then we just got a huge following rather quickly. And it was because of the show we were giving. You see all the other band, you're just standing in one spot playing a guitar. But you would come to a Boil Boy or Fighting Gravity show and you see a lot happening on the stage all at once. And that just became better as the years evolved. We just started running around and writing better songs.
It's my fault.
No, go. You
helped you helped demonstrate what the music was visually, I think, too. I mean, you're a natural talent, but when you get up in front of the stage, you take all that music and shoot it out to the crowd. Yes, we're all playing with you, but you emulate that. It's almost like you're a light show itself, or you know what I'm saying. It's an enigma almost to me. And I know it sounds like I'm blowing sunshine up your butt, but I've played with a lot of frontmen, and you are one of the best.
Oh, thanks, bro.
I would say for me, the best. I've seen frontmen, but playing with them like you, I mean, it makes life so much easier when you got somebody that talented up front, because nobody's looking at you. They're always looking at you.
It's going back to growing up. The other thing that I don't even think my family knows this, but every day I would get home from school, I'd go in my mom was watching her stories. Turn that noise down, boy.
So she wasn't one of the
music. She didn't know what I was doing back there. But she just kept hearing these songs playing over and over and over and over again. But I'd learned in that time, in my space, how I wanted to look on stage and how I wanted to act on stage. I would literally act it out and dance it out.
In front of the mirrors, in your head, everything.
Yes.
All
so
the time,
in my head, I already knew how I wanted to look on the stage, because in high school, I would just practice that because I knew what I wanted to do. I just wanted to sing and perform. I didn't see anyone looking like me singing the songs that I wanted to sing, because I'm just a rock pop dude. Of course, I like R&B, but I'm not singing it. I love rap, but I'm not rapping. So I found what was comfortable for me, and I learned then what I do on stage now. It's not very different 40 years later, 50 years later.
That first show at Schaefer, what did your presence look like? Your I guess your
the zoot suit was on.
There's a
like
picture.
were you just like,
no, I was all over the place.
Because right now you were all over the place on the stage. You have it. I think you have it worked out to a T, and it's like it's science to you, or it's not science. It's just what you do. I wonder, when did you figure that out?
By the time I got to the Schaefer show with the good guys, it was done. It was figured out.
Okay.
What I had to do was, because Jimmy Kyleo, now singer for the good guys, is a black guy singing rock and R&B, and then I said, how can I make myself a little different? Because they had a strong presence on stage. Like they were and they still are our heroes, but they were the band back in the day, and every show was packed. They were everywhere, and we were bugging the hell out of them to get on stage. So when we got the offer, I said, well, what can I do differently? Oh, he's not spinning like that. He's not moving like that. He's not jumping. He's being cool and, stalking the stage like a cool front dude.
Stalking the stage. I love that.
I attack the stage. I don't stalk it.
I've seen you stalk it, though. When you said
tired.
that, you just did your arm movement.
When he lets the guys play a solo,
It's my way to catch a drink or catch a breath. Stalking. But no, I just decided that I wanted to bring more energy in your face And that's what I do. It's just, I'm quiet right before it happens. I was in the dressing room. I didn't say anything. In my head, I'm already playing the show and what I want to do and how I want to walk out and what I want to say. And then I don't think about it anymore. Once the mic's in my hand, it's just automatic. I don't put any extra effort into it. I just put heart and soul in it. Like even if I don't have a voice, I'm still singing something. Something's going to come out. It may not be perfect, but this dude here, Chris Leitch, is the one person that I feel the most comfortable singing with.
Wow.
In the history of ever. And he knows that. We just look at each other and we already know.
I try to read his mind. I look at him out of the corner of my eyes. If he is going to be cutting the phrases short, I stop. If he can't hit, not that he can't hit, but he's busy doing something else, I'll sing his part. Not the leads, but just something that's more of the call and shouts. But
it's a comfort zone. Like, we are very comfortable with each other.
It's a relationship.
On the stage, right. This is interesting because we get a chance to talk off the stage because we're up there working and we're all about our business. He's spinning, playing his trombone, and I'm just trying to stay the hell out of his way.
Because it is a performance, yeah.
It's a show, and you don't get that nowadays from the people out of here doing this whole, it bugs me when I like a song on the radio and I watch them sing it live and they come nowhere near it.
Yeah.
Nowhere near it. It's horrible.
Peterson's always said, the people can hear with their eyes, and no better example is when you come up in front a song. I mean, and I remember when we used to learn the songs and somebody might bring an idea, but you would take it, embellish it, and turn it into your own. And a lot of times it was a little different than what the people thought it was going to be, and it's long phrasings and intonation is right there. I mean, it's not an easy task, and you must be winded. I mean, you're singing top hits. When we do our shows, it's like there's 15 anthems that you've got to sing at the top of your range. They're basically encores.
When we put the set list together for the show a few weeks ago, in rehearsal, I said, I'm not doing that song. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because I can't. It's just too much.
Is it vocal or energy, like moving around? What?
No, I was coming off of we talked about that.
Yeah.
And I was at rehearsal struggling. And I just said, it's winded. I was winded, number one. And two, I just didn't have the vocal power yet. It was coming back. It wasn't quite there. So we made it work. And he knows if I can hold it out or not.
Yeah.
The note. And it's just a thing. And it works. And I'm comfortable with it. And we could sit and talk about music or work on music or write on music. And it's just kind of fun to know that when I'm on stage, I don't have to worry about him.
It's a safety factor. And nor do I have to worry about him. It's like he's always going to deliver. Yeah.
And I feel the same way. And it's just fun. We walk off stage. Great show. What do you want to eat? What are you drinking?
Yeah.
It's like, we just did 2 hours of running around. I kind of want to sit down for right now. But it's just always been that way. And then there was a moment, though, where you and Eric and Jimmy, we had a whole new band. That was a weird space, and we were not in communication at all that whole time.
When was that?
In the 90s, like 95. When did you leave?
I left in 95.
Yeah, 95.
New Year's Eve show.
Yeah.
My dad had that Lou Gehrig's disease, and I didn't want to be.
Right. And so that was a moment in the band for me where I said, I don't know how far this is going to go. But then we went pretty far with a whole new band members. Because Triana wasn't there then. It was literally Mike Boyd, me, and Dave Peterson.
So it's like we had left the family a little bit, and where were these people?
Yeah, because Tree was no longer in the band. Jimmy wasn't there. Eric wasn't there. You weren't there. And it just became new people that I had to relearn and get to know. And at that point, the show just became the show. Like, I would just get to the gig, do what I got to do. And then a lot of times, I wasn't even on the bus or in the van. I would just drive myself or just arrive to the show just for sanity reasons.
Yeah.
just for sanity reasons. I need a break.
Because people would think that the way you are on stage, you're an extrovert, but you are not. You are totally introverted. You grab your energy from yourself. Even hearing how you got into music with those headphones. I mean, you're a self-starter. You think it out in your head. You create it. So I forgot where I was going with that. But
Thank you.
yeah,
Well,
I don't get a chance to tell the people I've played with throughout the years how great it is. So instruments. I know you sing. It sounds like you can read music too. If you were in All-State, then you know you can read too. What other instruments do you play?
None. Maybe tinker on keyboards just for melody reasons, but I don't have access to any instruments at all. I did want to learn the piano. I did want to play guitar. That shit's hard. Just not willing to do it at this
But
point.
the piano, the keys, everyone we've had here, that is a common.
Mm-hmm.
Either they want to play it, or they kind of can, or they really can. It's a common denominator.
Right. And it was just one of those things where it just wasn't important until it needed to be important.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had enough to focus on already, singing and running around. So didn't feel the need to pick up another instrument.
Well, to build on that, is there an instrument you would, if you had the time and the want, I guess, the time, would you pick up a new
It would
instrument?
be a guitar.
Would you? A guitar?
I see myself walking on the stage playing a guitar.
Really?
Just the whole thing in my head. I'd like to, even if it's just strumming. It's the look.
I
gotta-
could make that happen.
You
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
I mean,
That's easy,
between
right?
the two of us, we know 3 million musicians who could probably teach me.
4 chords and you can make a song. 3
That's
chords.
it.
So once this thing airs, you're going to have about 5 or 10 guitars coming to you. It's like, what's this? What's this? I'd be curious to see the songs you write with the guitar, because you write differently with different instruments. And
Right.
it'd be great to hear, some of that thing that you're going to, because you listen to so many different types of music. I was going to ask you this later, but what kind of styles do you prefer to sing?
Several. Because I love jazz. I love like acoustic songs. There's a really good song out now called anyway, we'll talk off air. But I can't remember the name of it. But I've been into a lot of kind of more acoustic singers, songwriters. Now there's a whole crop of new people out here making really interesting music. And so I can see myself kind of sitting and just kind of playing something that's very intimate. But I also love jazz, So like the good, like Frank Sinatra, that whole thing. The Rat Pack, that's fun. Those songs are very kitschy, very fun to sing. But I love rock. Like we were talking about at lunch, all those bands we talked about. I'll play any one of those songs.
Can you, you write music,
I write lyrics.
do you write it with any specific band or instrument in mind, backing you up or with?
I see incomplete pictures when I'm singing, like if I have an idea of what I want to do. But your Duran Duran's and just a big arena rock, like when Bush came out, just I love the crunch of guitar. Like half the band in the 90s we probably did a radio show with. But I like in our songs, like Breathing and Bend the Light, like just big songs. Those are the songs that I can get my teeth into. And I like those kind of songs.
Yeah.
Quiet Angel?
Haven't done that in a minute.
That's more laid back.
I just won't do it.
I
If I had the guitar,
I think that song is powerful, and it's just you project yourself. It's just, I love that song.
the first song that I think I allowed myself to be vulnerable on, because my mother just passed away. That's where all of that on this song came from. And it was a difficult song to record because it just happened, and we were in the studio at the same time. And I don't think I ever did that song live before. I don't know.
If we did, we played it up
I just
north.
refused to sing it. It's just too difficult to get through.
I did not know.
It is
That's you gave me a
beautiful
little bit of a
song.
chill.
I avoid that song. And it's not a mean thing. It's just like I was asked so many times to do it, and it's just hard to get through.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are moments where I just kind of, no. Not singing that.
Well, I will drop it. I've been trying to get that song.
I know. And I don't even have the voice to sing that today anyway. But you never know. It could show up. It could show up.
Yeah. All right. I always love to hear this. This kind of helps people who are kind of trying to do the same thing you're doing, which is fronting bands and stuff like that. Day of performances, rituals, mindsets, before the show, during the show, and at the end of the show. And then how do you prepare for the show coming up? So it's just, I always love to hear, the way you do that, because it's an event.
Yeah, it's a thing. It is a
Do you
lot.
eat a lot on the day of the show?
No, I don't. I don't eat much of anything the day of the show. A lot of liquids, a lot of water. Maybe something 3 hours before the show, like a salad or something, half a peanut butter sandwich. Just enough energy to get me through the 2 hours, but won't weigh me down.
And what keeps you being able to engage the crowd with intensity for an hour and a half, 2 hours? That is no easy task because, we're rolling from song to song to song. How do you maintain that pull? You have to mesmerize these people. And I'm using big words, but it's truly
they
what you're doing.
mesmerize me. Like the audience is the show. Take
That's
a minute
beautiful.
and look at the audience. They're giving you a lot of crazy stuff right in front of your face. There's been boobs. There's been all kinds of stuff. So it's very easy when they're giving that love and that energy. Even if they're just standing there like this, I'm fine with that. Because they're still engaged. They're still looking at the show.
And they're not walking out the back door.
Right. And they're not getting a beer. They've gotten their beer already and now they're ready to rock and roll. So it's very easy. It's a very give and take. It's no different, if you think about it, than what we're doing right now. We're just giving energy back and forth, and just having a conversation. Our conversation in the band just happens to be loud songs that people are singing back to you
That's a great analogy.
that you worked on for years to get to this point. So the whole idea is just to walk out there and just make people feel like they're in my house, they're in my kitchen, and we're just kicking back.
It is personable.
It is. And I walk out and I see, well, one, if it's in a city like in Norfolk, I already know where people are going to stand because they've been standing in the same spot for 30 years.
It's like the church pews. Everybody gets mad
They
if
get
you're
their
in there.
spot. If they get upset if they can't get in that space. And so when I walk out, I scan the room and I just let the energy wave through the room and then just get to work.
And most people by their first name. And that's what's so neat about it. It literally is.
I remember.
They're part of our family, and we do see the same people, and they send us comments. Yeah. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We talked about music. We were just at that restaurant, and like several songs came on, and you said, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that." If Nick said this question this morning, he says we should ask this question, and I think it's a great one. What album or albums would you listen to from start to finish, not cherry pick? Would you listen to the whole thing at one time?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty. Can you imagine the long car rides back in the day? I tend to go with this, though. I gave you the name of the bands. It's either Depeche Mode, U2, Duran Duran, most of the bands in the 90s. I like guitar. Sometimes you need a guitar in your life, just loud and crunchy. That's a hard question. It's very interesting because you have to commit. You have to commit.
You had to back in the day. You know, you just
You
listen
just
to
let
the
it
whole
play.
CD. Yeah,
Unless
either
you
the
make a
tape or the
mixtape,
CD.
yeah.
Right.
Which that was later on, or tapes were. I was asked that question the other day, and two came off the tip of my tongue immediately.
What
it
were
was
they?
like Green Day, Dookie,
Right.
and Weezer the Blue Album.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, those are my
Yeah.
to this day. And later when I said that last week, I listened to Green Day. And another one came up. Dang it, I forgot what it was.
That's a very interesting question because I can't say that about a lot of stuff that I hear nowadays because everything is so, they don't have that format anymore.
It's not a concept anymore.
No, it's just a single.
Yeah.
Nowadays you better have a good single and a following, or you're not going to have much of all. Not going to have anything soon.
Yeah.
311.
Oh, right on.
311. 311.
That's
Forgot
the
about
I could do
yeah.
that from start to finish.
Right on. Now, on my drive home, I'm going to be thinking about that question. It's a very good question.
Yeah.
But when you said ritual,
The
I
pre-show
have a
rituals.
few.
I'd love
I
to hear.
always, whatever I'm going to wear is already hung up the night before. Every single show.
Not the
already-
same outfit. It's different. You've already put the thought into it. What went into your mind to pick that out? Location, possible crowd.
Just being comfortable on stage. I know what to do when I walk out. I know there's that jacket on for the first couple of songs. The jacket comes off. There's a black t-shirt involved usually. I've got 20 of them, 30. And the most important thing is the footwear, though. The footwear. Got to be boots for me.
Okay, so not like athletic running around. It's
I've worn these on stage,
okay.
but
Well, those are kind of boots.
yeah, they're boots.
Those are running like
They're
athletic boots.
they're boxing boots.
Oh, okay. I know there's a
I
word for it.
specifically looked for them because I like the ankle. I like the ankle to be protected. That's why I like boots.
Yeah,
Because when you're jumping and spinning, you could easily break an ankle
yeah.
or fall off the stage and whatnot. So boots,
Jumping off something.
correct. So the other thing I do is before the show, I'm usually very quiet. Like you won't even know I'm in the room because I'm in a corner somewhere just thinking. But at the end of the show, I'm hungry.
Hungry.
I
It's
want
like,
to eat.
I'm a human now. I got to go back and do
don't
this.
want to talk. Don't come at me right after the show. I have nothing else to give. You know what I'm saying? I just want to eat and just go drink and think about how I could have done something better.
Always looking
Because I'm
Oh,
always going back in my head going, God, I should have done that. Or maybe I could have hit this note. Or maybe we could have done this way on this song. Or maybe I shouldn't have said that in the microphone after that shot arrived to the stage.
You know what's interesting about that is that you can do it again. A live show is just one of hopefully many that you can do and
Yep.
will do, and so it can morph into what you think is the best version of that show.
Yes,
You can't do that with a record.
correct.
And I've asked Chris about this. Have you ever recorded something in the past and you really wanted to record it differently? I know you guys have re-recorded some stuff and put some live stuff out there, but have you ever had a studio song that later on you're like, I want to redo it? Has it ever hit you that way?
There's a song that we do, and let me take a second here. Yes, there is a song that we do that is not. I think it's breathing, but it's not. I don't know if we've ever released that on a CD.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
It
was on a live
We did a
CD.
couple of versions of it.
Is that with Eric's intro?
But
And it makes it just huge entrance.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was playing that version, because again,
I've asked you that question before. I said,
Several
where can I
people.
hear this? Because he does it. It seems like he just does it for the show. And I want to hear
are
that
you talking
again.
about the piano part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that.
I can't, it's like,
He did it. He
Massive.
played that song in the studio, and I love that part in the song. But I also like the crunchy guitar at the very beginning that Tree does. But then when they both do it together, Eric does his keyboard thing, and then Tree swells in
Mhm.
and does the guitar. I like that. Some shit's about to go down
Yeah.
when you hear that.
gets your attention.
It gets your attention. And so I always step out of the way during that part and just let them have a moment. And then doesn't matter how I feel. I'm going to kick that song in the head.
Yeah.
It's a fun song to sing. And you look at the crowd and they're just so happy to sing it with you.
Yeah.
You know, they start singing before I even start singing. It's great.
All right. This is kind of loaded,
Oh boy.
but I'd almost be afraid to turn on the tape player when all of us are together talking amongst ourselves. And but we always like to know one of your favorite stories from the road. It can be.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
That
'cause
you
have-
wouldn't
how many
mind being
stories
out
do
there.
you have? I mean, thousands of shows.
Yeah,
and-
between all of us in the band rehearsal can be at 7:00. We won't play any music till 8:15.
Yeah.
We're just too busy talking. It was when we did some shows. Well, there were several. The Aerosmith show at Nissan Pavilion.
What happened? You got to meet
It's
Steve?
Aerosmith.
Yeah. I wasn't in the
I mean,
band.
should I say any more? No, that was such an out of body experience because when we got the offer, one was we were in such disbelief, and then you're like, first of all, it's Aerosmith, and then you're playing 20,000 people in this amphitheater, and when we got there, the first thing their road manager said was, "When the guys get here," and she was really nice. She said, "I'm going to be really nice to you all now, but when the guys get here, I'm not going to be nice. I'm just giving you a warning right now." So I had my brother, and when they walked around the corner, the first thing she said was, "Leave them alone." My brother was like, "Lead singer, Steven Tyler's right there. Can I get an autograph? Can I get a picture?" And I looked at him like, "Bro, what is wrong with you?" But they were so cool. All of them are really nice to us, and they're all short except for Tom.
Really?
He's really tall,
Is Tom the drummer?
bass player.
Bass player.
But they're all short. We towered over them. But that show was significant because I'm a black dude, and I walk out, and the first row is a bunch of bikers with leather jackets on, and they're looking at me going, "All right, what are you going to do?" And the show killed. It was a fun time.
And they all warmed up.
They all had a great time. It was great, and it was good to see fans there with sign. It was just a big moment for us. It's Aerosmith.
How many of your how many Fighting Gravity fans were there?
I don't know. All I know is that they were singing and they were dancing in the back.
Okay, so you could
I can
hear it,
see
you could
them.
see
Yeah, I can see the signs, and
That's
those were fun. The other thing was Cobra Mouth in New Orleans, which is where they're from. We did a House of Blues shows with them, and I remember the drummer, who's the singer, hopped behind the bar and became the bartender, and literally it was like shots, and I literally was running out of the bar to get away from Freddie. He was just relentless at getting everyone wasted, but that's what we loved about them. And I said, "I'm never gonna party with you again."
What
Never. He was the relentless
what band was this?
Cowboy Mouth.
Oh, Cowboy Mouth.
Yes.
Got it.
Those were fun shows with him.
Yeah, I heard that guy was truly charismatic. He was a drummer.
Yeah, he's
that
the drummer.
led.
They set the drummer in the middle of the stage, right in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And when we first did a show with them, he came up to me after our set and said, "Have you heard about us at all?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Half the shit you did up there, I do. Are you sure you've never seen us before?" And I was like, "No," because he has a lot of energy. Like, he hypes the crowd up way more than I do. Like, he will climb on stuff to get to the top rafter to make sure that you're singing the song. I'm not lying. When I saw him do that, I said, "This bro is off the chain. He's got so much energy. Now I've got to step my game up." So the next time we had a show, I put it out there. He was like, "Can't follow you." It was like, "You too much." But no, Freddie, they do their own thing, but they're one of my favorite bands that treated us very well on the road. Not everyone treated us well on the road. So you just have to suck it up and, just focus on what you do and don't worry about the other bands. And I think that's what we have always done. Let's just do our stuff and not worry about all the other bands that are out here doing whatever in the hell they do. We're here for a reason. We've got all these people here looking at us for a reason, so we must be doing something sort of right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a place for us. Yeah, you're exactly right. We're almost to a close. It's been wonderful having you here.
Thank you. It's been fun. It's different.
Well, good.
I will run from a mic and a camera. Anyone who knows me
You
knows
said that you would. I was worried.
So we're gonna trap this in time now.
So
So
better.
what's on the horizon for Schiavone Mcgee? A new album, solo projects, band projects? What are you thinking?
Well, I am working on a few things. I can't mention it, but it's music and it's different. And I was in the studio last night working on a few things, but I don't know. I just think health. It's 2024 was really crazy, challenging for me health-wise, personally. So I'm just trying to mentally fix myself. I've got mental issues. Who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
So I do. I put both hands up.
I take several drugs for it.
I know you've turned me on to something. But no, just a bit more focus on health, and just I want to meet creative, like we were talking, interesting people that have something to talk about. You know, I'm on dating apps. They're a trip. I told you that.
Somebody's going to win the heart of Schiavone. Yeah.
I told you that story. It's I got a million of them, but no, I don't know. I tell a friend of mine, I take my life 1 hour at a time, literally.
Wow.
I just am a planner, but I just said this year and recently toward the end of 2024, I just said, I'm going to just take it 1 hour at a time. And I'm just going to appreciate the hour for what it is, whether it's here talking, whether it's in my car, whether it's in the gym, just meeting interesting people. You know, every hour is different. And I like that. And I make it a point when the hour is up, if it's not done, if it's not folded, if it's not put away, get back to it later. Go do something else. Go do something else.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hold yourself to the agenda. You allow things to
I
happen.
like my freedom. Yeah. I don't want to be in a box. And being in a band this long, you can be in a box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're seeing each other, you're seeing the same people, you're playing the same songs. So, you know, having Jody in the band, the drummer,
the new drummer, yeah,
he brought a lot of energy and different stuff to the songs, and I loved it. He kind of re-energized all of us, really.
Yeah.
And the band just came like this, really cohesive.
I think we're closer now than we've ever been.
I agree.
Yeah, because we've all gotten our egos out of the way. We all just want to play. We know our parts. Nobody's really leading except for if a song's being
right.
And you're pretty much back together, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. If we got a decent offer, we'll put it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of us are willing to do a show anywhere as long as it works. It's got to be the right show, you know.
Instead of 5 shows a week, we just pick the ones that we can present ourselves really well. Yeah.
What shows do you guys have coming up?
Well, you know about the May 10th one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pat Mcgee and Virginia Coalition. It's going to be off the chain.
It is.
A lot of fun.
My entire neighborhood's going. We're going to get a bus.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's going to be fun. And we have a show in Reston coming up. I don't know much details about that, but it's coming up in Reston.
That'll be fun going back north, you know.
Yeah.
A big venue? Like a Norva style?
It's a concert series they have every week up there during the summer or during the spring and summer. And it's no different than Friday Cheers here. It's just up there. It's just Town Center, Reston Town Center.
Okay.
They have a concert series. So they asked us to come up.
But the money was right, you know, with a band this big, with all the moving parts, the big light shows.
There's a lot of overhead.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and we get offers, but it has to make sense because we bring a crew, and it's just those shows mean a lot when you are able to put a lot into them. You know what I'm saying? Like the crew and the lights and getting everything right. Just don't want to be we don't want to be at some random brewery singing songs. It's just that's not what people come to our show. That's not what they come to see.
Yeah.
You got a good question. We stumbled upon this question.
Is this the one you started to say, but you stopped? Okay.
Nick, since this is your question,
let's go.
You should
Nick.
ask.
It's a fill in the blank. It's super easy. One word answer that usually leads to something else.
Oh, prosthetic.
I blank music. Okay, that's funny.
I can't tell
That's
that story. Ask me later.
That's a private story we just talked about. He got a leg up.
Wow.
Let me compose myself again. All right. I blank music.
Breathe it.
We've
I
never
breathe
heard
it.
that.
Love that. Schiavone.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yes. This was
Fun.
I'm gonna dote real quick. I grew up listening to you sing. You woke me up many times on my little clock radio on B103.7, Mission Bells and Bend the Lights. And just to interview you right now was like my local,
you're welcome,
a dream
bro.
of mine.
You're
So
welcome.
thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure. And you know, I wouldn't do this for just anyone.
And I thank you
But
for that.
when he reached out, I was like, cool. I need to get out of my safety zone. Nothing about this is safe to me. By the way, I don't ever put myself out there like that.
Well, you're a natural.
But thanks. And you guys have been very fun and made it very comfortable.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris, for putting this together. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Y'all be good.
All righty, guys.
Be good.
Take it easy.